Hi, and welcome back to Arno TV. I'm your lovable host Arno, coming back to you with another video. So, when I was on my way home from work yesterday, stuck in traffic, I heard, come over the radio, that there'd been protests at the MHRA's headquarters in Canary Wharf. So when I got home last night, I had a look online and the many news articles that were about this, and saw some footage about it as well. So let's just go have a look over on the internet and let's just see what I was reading yesterday and the way that this has been reported, because it's very interesting that the media seem to want to report this in a very, very negative way. Okay, let's just go have a look. So first of all, this is in the Evening Standard. Anti-vaxxers clash with police at MHRA HQ during vote for jabs for kids. So just in case anyone missed that yesterday, there was a vote that went on yesterday on whether they were going to allow 12 to 15-year-olds, children, to be vaccinated. Okay. Anti-vaccination protesters clashed with police as they tried to storm the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, the MHRA. 4 officers were injured during chaos unfolding in central London, the Metropolitan Police has said. The force said a number of protesters had become violent towards the police during action in the capital. In a tweet, Scotland Yard said a number of protesters have become violent towards the police. 4 of our officers have been injured during clashes. This is unacceptable. We remain on scene and updates to follow. There were many articles about this. Here's another one in The Guardian. Anti-vaccine protests try to storm London offices of the medical regulator. Police stop an attempt to invade MHRA headquarters as hundreds gather in Canary Wharf. Police have prevented anti-vaccine protesters from storming headquarters of Britain's medical regulator during violent clashes in East London. At least 4 officers were injured and arrests were made during a confrontation as hundreds of people gathered outside the offices of the Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, the MHRA, in Canary Wharf, London. Okay? Now, there was many articles about this yesterday, and let me tell you something, they all seem to want to stress that there were scuffles and outbreaks and clashes and 4 officers were injured. That seems to be the narrative of the way that this was all reported yesterday, in a very negative light, that these people are anti-vaxxers, they're nutcases, they have no reason to be there, basically, no reason to protest. There's more about this, in the Independent. There was a video here in the Independent about this. So let's just turn the music down. Let's have a quick look at some footage that went out yesterday. So just a brief look at what was going on here.
It's okay, chill out. Get your head crushed. Here we go!
There you go, people. There you go. So there's very little footage of this online, and it's very hard to make out from little snippets exactly what's gone on here, exactly what's caused these scuffles and outbreaks there. But just from previous episodes of Arno TV, thinking back to lockdown, say November and January, we've seen many occasions where the police have been very heavy-handed with people who were protesting peacefully, and all sorts has kicked off. So I'm not going to presume what happened there to kick this off. I wasn't there. But it's very interesting that the media, who are working hand in hand with the government and have been through the whole lot of this, only want to report this in a negative light, that it's nutcases, anti-vaxxers, nobody's got any legitimate reasons to be protesting the MHRA. Oh, really? Really, have they not? Because let's not forget a few things about the MHRA. I'm not condoning anybody that's gone out there and made any kind of violent protest, but everybody has the right to peacefully protest, okay? And let's not pretend that there aren't reasons that people have legitimate concerns to be protesting the MHRA. For example, let's think about this, okay? So in case anybody has not seen earlier episodes of Arno TV, when we've talked about this, our government last year, under the table, and guess what? None of the mainstream media reported anything about this whatsoever. Well, there's a surprise, yeah? Our government, last year obviously, we were still in the EU. We might have been in a transition period, but until the 31st of December 2020, we were still in the EU. And what our government did under the table on this website, which is the Tenders Electronic Daily website, and for anybody that's wondering what this website is, it's a supplement to the official journal of the EU, isn't it? And what this is a procurement website, because when your country is part of the European Union, and be it your local government or national government puts out, needs something, they have to put it out to tender so that businesses from all over the European Union can bid for that work. And our government put out a tender late last year on the TED, Tenders Electronic Daily website, which, as I've said, is a supplement to the official journal of the EU. And for anyone out there that wants to think that Arno TV comes online spouting off about things that they can't back up, for anybody that wants to go find this tender, if you go onto this website, the TED Tenders Electronic Daily, and I'm going to leave the links in the description anyway, so you can look at this yourself, but if you search on this website, supplies or dash 506 291 or dash 2020, then you're going to find a tender that our government did under the table last year, and not one mainstream media outlet, publication, national paper, TV station reported anything about this. They were silent. They were absolutely silent about this, okay? Now, who's this tender for? This tender is for the MHRA buyer organisation. And who are the MHRA again? Who are they? They are the government. Okay, so I know people out there think, oh, they're the independent regulator, but let me tell you something. If they weren't the government, do you want to explain to me why their website ends in .gov.uk? They are the government, okay? And who have they been working with all the way through this pandemic? Who have they been working hand in hand with? Who ultimately are they working with and answering to? They've been answering and working with Matt Hancock, haven't they? Okay, we'll come back to him in a moment. So the MHRA, this tender is for the MHRA buyer organisation in London in the UK. Okay, and what's this tender for? Okay, why is this so relevant? Let me give you a short description of it. And remember, people, these are the words of the MHRA. These are not my words. These are the words of the MHRA. Okay? The MHRA urgently seeks an artificial intelligence AI software tool to process the expected high volume of COVID-19 vaccine adverse drug reactions, in brackets ADRs, and ensure that no details from the ADRs reaction text are missed. So when this document refers to ADRs, you know what it's talking about. It's talking about adverse drug reactions. So let me just give you an explanation of this tender. And again, remember, these are the words of the MHRA, you know, the government. These are their words, not mine. For reasons of extreme urgency under Regulation 32 in brackets 2 in brackets C related to the release of a COVID-19 vaccine, the MHRA have accelerated the sourcing and implementation of a vaccine-specific AI tool. It's strictly necessary. It is not possible to retrofit the MHRA's legacy systems to handle the volume of ADRs, and what are they again? Adverse drug reactions that will be generated by a COVID-19 vaccine. Therefore, if the MHRA does not implement the AI tool, it will be unable to process these ADRs effectively. This will hinder its ability to rapidly identify any potential safety issues with the COVID-19 vaccine and represents, I repeat, represents a direct threat to patient life and public health. For the reasons of extreme urgency, the MHRA, and who are they again? The government. They recognise that its planned procurement process for the Safety Connect programme, including the AI tool, would not have concluded by the vaccine launch, leading to an inability to effectively monitor adverse reactions to a COVID-19 vaccine. So they knew in December, when the vaccine launched, they wouldn't have this AI software tool in place. They knew that the MHRA if they did not implement the AI tool, it would be unable to process these ADRs effectively, and this will hinder its ability to rapidly identify any potential safety issues with the COVID-19 vaccine and represents a direct threat to patient life and public health. This is their words, not mine. Okay, so let us not pretend that there are people out that people do not have a legitimate reason to be protesting the MHRA and legitimate concerns, and let's not paint these people up like the media want to do as nutcases, because there are reasons and there are legitimate concerns that people have to be protesting the MHRA about these ADRs for starters. Okay, now I'll tell you what's interesting. Tell you what's very interesting. Yeah. Let's look on the government website, okay, and I'll leave the link in the description. Just so, you know, people out there who want to call me a conspiracy theorist in a nutcase, I don't come online, you know, spouting off about things that I don't have a reason to say what I do and not be able to back up what I'm saying. This is on the government website. Coronavirus vaccine weekly summary of yellow card reporting. Now, what's yellow card reporting? Yellow card reporting is where people have had ADRs and adverse events to a COVID-19 vaccine. This is on the government website, and I'm going to leave the link in the description. I'm not going to read it all because, you know, you can read it yourself. And the initial summary of this, it talks about, you know, how the vaccine is the only way, you know, the safest way to protect yourself, etc. The usual thing that the government put out. But anyway, let's go down here and look at where it's talking about the actual figures of yellow card events. Okay, so remember, this is the government website. This is not my words. This is on .gov.uk. As of the 25th of August 2021, for the UK, 100,009,660 yellow cards have been reported for the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. 229,913 have been reported for the COVID-19 vaccine AstraZeneca, and 14,641 for the COVID-19 vaccine Moderna, and 154 have been reported where the brand of the vaccine was not specified. That's how many yellow card events there's been on the government website. Okay, as of the 25th of October 2021, for the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 AstraZeneca and COVID-19 vaccine and Moderna, the overall reporting rate is around 3 to 7 yellow cards per 1,000 doses administered. In the week since the previous summary for the 18th of August 2021, we have received a further 2,445 yellow cards from the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, 779 for the COVID-19 vaccine AstraZeneca, 622 for the COVID-19 vaccine Moderna, and 20 where the brands were not specified. It is important to note that yellow card data cannot be used to derive side effect rates or compare safety profile of COVID-19 vaccines, as many factors can influence ADR reporting. But this is on the government website. These are the figures. You know, they're not small amounts of figures, are they? Okay, 109, 660 from Pfizer-BioNTech, 229,913 from AstraZeneca, and 14,641 from Moderna. They're not small numbers, are they? Okay, and has the media reported anything about this? No, it hasn't, has it? So let's not pretend that people do not have legitimate reasons to be protesting the MHRA. I'll leave all this link in the description where you can basically, you know, read all of it, and you can read about severe allergies and blood clots. You know, you can read it all. It's all on the government website. I'm not going to read every single little bit of it for you. I'll leave that there for you to read. Don't take my word for it. It's on the government website. Now let's get back to this tender, okay, that's been dished out for this AI software tool to track all these ADRs. And we've seen the kind of numbers we're talking. You know, this has been dished out to a company called Genpact, hasn't it? And they spent £1.5 million on this contract. Now, this company Genpact, you know, when I've come online before and said to you, all these people are working together, and they're all working with people like Schwab and his acolytes over at the wharf pushing this agenda. I'm not making this up, because what do you think the chances of this company have had an association with not only the World Economic Forum and Matt Hancock? And you want me to prove it to you? Right, let's go to the government website. Okay, so we're back on .gov.uk. This is an article on the government website from back in 2014, and what it's about is the Indians Business Angels. And what this is, it's a group of entrepreneurs and a who's who list of CEOs and entrepreneurs across Asia that were looking to make huge investments in UK startup companies way back in 2014, when we had a coalition government that were keen to do business with India. You know, because people forgotten things like this. And this IAN group, okay, this who's who, it's a network of over 250 investors comprising a who's who of successful entrepreneurs and CEOs spread across 10 countries, okay, over Asia, okay. This IAN group had a meeting at 10 Downing Street with David Cameron, the then Prime Minister, Matt Hancock, Oliver Letwin and Vince Cable. And this IAN group met at Downing Street with these people, you know, about investing in UK startup companies. And I'll tell you what's very interesting, and how we can prove that Matt Hancock has had an association with Genpact since 2014. That when we look on the government website at the key members of this IAN network and who the key members are and who they are, it's very interesting, because I've highlighted here, if we look at this chap called Pramod Basin, who's he? He's the founder and vice chairman of Genpact, isn't he? So this chap and Genpact have had an association with Matt Hancock since 2014. This is on .gov.uk. So I don't come online making, you know, accusations and spouting off about things I cannot prove. This man, Matt Hancock, has had an association with Genpact since 2014, because if he hadn't, he wouldn't have met the founder of Genpact at Downing Street in 2014, as it says on the government website. And I tell you what else is interesting as well. You know, when I've come online and said all these people are working together and they're all working with people like Schwab pushing this agenda, what do you think the chances are of this company? Not only have they had an association with Matt Hancock since 2014, what do you think the chances are of this company also have an association with the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab? What do you think? Well, let's go over to the Genpact website. Again, link will be in the description. This company, what's it say here? Food for thought from Davos. 5 takeaways from the WEF's annual meeting. And this is from 2018. This was written by their CEO, their now CEO, a chap called Tiger. And they were there 2019 and 2020. They are working with the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab, pushing the agenda of the Great Reset, the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and stakeholder capitalism. Now, what do you think the chances of that are? Is it just another coincidence that all these people are working together? I mean, it's not me who's doing this. It's these people, okay? This is where we are at with this group of people. It's not me that goes online in 2014 like Matt Hancock, putting out tweets like, delighted we've agreed to work even closer with the hashtag World Economic Forum and their Centre for the Fourth Industrial Revolution to help make hashtag AI work for everyone, hashtag Davos 2018. And look at him, and there he is next to his hero, Klaus Schwab, who he's working hand in hand with, pushing this agenda, okay? And what's this contract to do with that Genpact have been dished out? Oh, that's another coincidence, isn't it? AI, it's to do with AI software, okay? This is where we are at with this group of people. And I don't come online spouting off things that I can't back up. So for anyone out there that wants to bury their head in the sand and pretend that things like that, like this, aren't going on, well, good luck to you. But this is what's going on, and let's not pretend that people don't have legitimate reasons to be protesting the MHRA, because they quite clearly do. And let's not have the media paint these people up as nutcases, because the media have been silent on all of this, haven't they? Haven't they? And they have been working hand in hand with the government since this whole pandemic started. So let's not pretend that all this kind of stuff is not going on, because it quite clearly is. And when I've said people like Hancock should be dragged into Parliament and made to answer some serious questions about what they're involved in, who they're working with, and what agendas they're pushing. You know, I'm not just saying this for effect. There's every reason to ask this man and the like, such as Patel and the rest of them, you know, Gove, Card, all of them need to be brought in and asked a lot of questions about what's been going on. It's quite clear. So let's not pretend that things like this are not going on, okay? Because they quite clearly are. So if you've enjoyed this episode of Arno TV, then please like and subscribe to this channel. And I will, you know, be putting out forthcoming videos in the future, so ring the notification bell and you'll be, you know, notified when I do that. Because as I've said before, I am not going to stay silent while these type of people rip up democracy on a daily basis and throw it into the dustbin of history, because that is what these people are quite clearly up to, and they're actively pushing these agendas out in the open. And when anyone questions it, all of a sudden it's a conspiracy theory. That is what these people are up to. And there's no doubts about it anymore. These people have a lot to answer for. So I want my subscribers to take care of themselves, their friends and their family and their loved ones, because don't be relying on people like Hancock and Gove and Starmer and Patel and Khan to be looking after the people that you care about and you love, because these people are an absolute disgrace, and the only thing they are interested in, quite clearly, is lining their own pockets, feathering their own dirty, stinking, filthy little nests, and basically gaining more power and wealth for themselves. That is what these people are about. They do not care about you or me. They are not for the people. They are only for themselves. And it's quite clear that that is what these people are about. So I'll be back soon with some more videos for you. But until I am, I want everyone to take care of themselves and stay rock and roll. And I will be back soon with some more videos for you.